We're going to learn Perek Beis, Mishnah Beis. This Mishnah has 3 parts. The first part of the Mishnah will discuss that if a person has bedposts, which are these wooden boards that were at least 10 tfachim, 30 inches tall, and usually these boards were used to support a bed frame. Now, if a person decides to remove this bed frame, and at the top of these boards he places chach, is this considered to be a kosher sukkah? So we have 2 opinions. The first opinion, the Tana Kama says that it is kosher. However, the second opinion, Rabbi Yehuda argues and says that if the schach is not able to stand on its own, then this sukkah is not kosher. And it is only if a person builds an additional frame and has the schach being supported by that frame, then this sukkah would be kosher. The second part of the Mishnah will discuss a sukkah hamiduvleles, which means a mixed sukkah. That when a person was building the sukkah and they were placing their schach, they did not place the schach leveled. Rather, they decided to take the first piece of schach and put it a little bit higher. And then the second piece, within 3 tfachim of the first piece, they place it a little bit lower. And the third piece, they place it a little bit higher. And the fourth piece, they place a little bit lower. And they follow such a pattern throughout the entire schach. Then says the Mishnah that even though right now in this sukkah there is more sunlight than shade, this sukkah is kosher. Why? Because if they would take all of the pieces of schach and they would level it, then that would make it that this sukkah would not have more sunlight than shade. So even right now, this sukkah is kosher. And the Mishnah says that the same thing applies that anytime a person is building a sukkah, if at the area of the schach there is more shade than sunlight, then this sukkah is kosher. Now the third part of the Mishnah will discuss that usually when a person is building their sukkah, they should place their schach in a way that when they look up to the heavens at night, they should be able to see some of the stars. Now what happens if when a person is putting their schach, they put so much schach, they make it so thick that it's like the roof of their house, and when they are looking upwards at night, they cannot see any stars. Says the Mishnah that this sukkah is still kosher. And it's important to know that it is minik Chabad, that when we build our sukkah, we place a lot of schach on our sukkah. However, before sukkahs, we take a stick and we stick it inside of the schach, making it that there should be at least one area in our sukkah that when we look up during the nighttime, we should be able to see some of the stars. We are now going to read the Mishnah inside. The first part of the Mishnah, Hasoi mech sukkasoi, if someone supports the schach of his sukkah, Bekare hamita, with the legs, the boards of a bed, we have 2 opinions. The first opinion, the Tana Kama says, Keshera, it is kosher. And the second opinion, Rabbi Yehuda says that Im eino yecholo lamoid, if the schach is not able to stand bifnei atzma by itself, then pesula, this sukkah is pasul, and the only way for it to be kosher would be to have an additional frame upon which you place the schach. The second part of the Mishnah, sukkah hamiduvleles, a mixed up sukkah, which means that when they built the sukkah, the schach was not leveled, but one was higher than the other. And vishetzilasa, when its shade is miruba mechamasa, is more than its sun. In both of these cases, keshera, the sukkah is kosher. The third case of the Mishnah, ha-meuba, if someone places their schach in a way which it is very thick, kimin bayis, like a sort of house, then afal pi, even though she'ena kechavim nirim, the stars are not seen mitoicha, from inside of it during the night, nevertheless, kishera, this sukkah is kosher.